I'ma just need you to like, comment, and subscribe so I can drop this 9 to 5.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Angelic Soul, and here I post at least one video every Sunday just talking about the life lessons I've learned through God and music. So if you are new, I welcome you. I hope you enjoy yourself. Come on back. Please come on back, because I'm going to give you all that I can give you. And if you've been rocking with me since day one, what's up? How you doing? I hope you've been good. So I'm doing a series right now. We got part 1, part 2, and part 3. This is actually part 2, okay? So if you haven't seen part 1, I don't know what you're doing here. You need to go back and watch part 1 and then come back, But if you've already watched part 1, then you know I left off telling you guys how I sold my couch and my bed set and all these other things in my apartment, because if it could not fit in my car, your girl wasn't taking it with her. Okay? So now it's time for part 2, because while I'm up here preparing to move, I was working for this terrible company. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, while I'm doing all of this stuff, I'm still working for this terrible company. I don't care what nobody else say. If they say, oh, I work in this department, I had a great time. Or I don't care. They do not care about their employees. And I really feel like they don't care about their customers. I hated this job so much. And I started off as a contract worker. And I think that lasted for about 4 months. So when you're a contract worker, you have to show up every day. If you were late, you lost a point. No, that was half a point. And they only gave you 3. So if you lost all 3, you were fired. So if you were late, you lost a half a point. If you had to leave early, you lost a point. If you weren't there, you lost a point. That's just that. For 4 months, I was there, being put through hell. Completely. And after my contract was up, you became a full-time employee, and therefore you get your PTO. So in my mind, I said, okay, I know that God said I have to move by July, at the latest August, like the first week of August. So I said, okay, I'm a full-time employee. Now I got PTO. Y'all done put me through hell. So I'm about to take me a 2-week vacation, a consecutive 2-week vacation. All right, y'all, I'm back. I don't need something in my eye. Yeah, I submitted my 2-week vacation and it got approved. And I said, all right, once I get back from my vacation, I'm probably only going to work 1 more week. And then I'm submitting my resignation letter. So now it's time for me to go down to the state that I currently live in. And like the first week of my vacation, I spent a few days down there, just looking at apartments, because y'all know the apartments look different online than they do in person. And in this particular state, it did. And my friend, she came with me. We drove around looking at different apartments, exploring the city a little bit, traffic crazy. Y'all, we went to this karaoke bar. Listen, I had so much fun. And their cake, oh my goodness, the cakes were huge. And it was so good. I should go there today and get me. Okay, anywho. All right. So one of my old friends I went to school with, spent some time with him. And he actually took us to the karaoke bar. Had a good time. He is hilarious. After we left there, we drove back up to the state where my friend lives. And I stayed there a few days. Their apartment is gorgeous. So nice. So pretty. Once I left there, I drove back up to Michigan, and I still had probably 2 days left before I had to return to work, which was good, because who wants to take a 2-week vacation and the day you come back home, you got to work the next day? It's a no for me. I need my time to rest up. I think I spent those 2 days just prepping, getting ready, and driving around, doing whatever I wanted to, enjoying my freedom, Work. I returned to work, and like I said, I worked 1 week and I went ahead and I submitted my 2-week notice. Now, here comes the problem. Here comes the problem. My manager, which I could not stand. Y'all, listen. Hold on. We got to take a little break because I got to tell y'all about this heifer. When I say I could not stand her, I hope she's doing well. I do. But in the time that I was working up under her, I could not stand her. I did not like her. When I say it didn't matter what I did, it did not matter what I did. I never did anything right. She would say, oh no, you want to do it this way. I said, okay, you do it that way. And then during your one-on-one, your next one-on-one, she'll say, oh no, that's not what I said. No, it is what you said. Maybe you should pull the call and listen to it yourself. That is what you said. Like 1 minute she's by the book, then she not by the book. It's like, you getting on my nerves. Yeah, there's always room for improvement. But I also believe that there's some times where you can do everything right in one call and the customer still say no. So I submitted my 2-week notice and she gave me this list that I had to check off and everything. And the last little check box was calling HR. And I said, okay, called HR. I'm like, hey y'all, I'm leaving. You know, I'm excited, right? I'm like, so is there anything else that I need to do before, you know, it's my time to leave? And she was like, oh no, everything should be fine. But then she started discussing my benefits, right? And she was like, oh, so you just became full-time, right? I said, mm-hmm. And she said, okay, it looks like you used up 60% of your PTO. I said, mm-hmm. I said, I went on a 2-week vacation and I also had some doctor's appointments as well. And she was like, oh, okay. I don't know if you read our handbook, but in order for you to keep your full PTO or for us to pay you out any PTO, you have to be a full-time employee for at least 1 year. I said, you know, okay, that's fine. Y'all don't have to pay me no PTO out. I'm fine with that. And she was like, well, okay, but also with that, you can only use 20% of your PTO because you haven't been, you've only been full-time for I think 2 or 3 months and you've used 60% of it. I said, okay. Like, lay it out for me, because now you playing with me, okay? You playing with me. Lay it out. And so she was like, since you, again, was not a full-time employee for a year, you'll have to pay back your second week of vacation.
Who about to pay that? Who is about to pay back their second week of vacation? Who was about to pay that back? Yeah, who about to pay that back? Like, that was my only question. Who's about to pay this back? Like, seriously, this is my PTO. Y'all gave it to me. It's mine. It's mine to use. And she was like, yeah, if you're a full-time employee for a year. I'm like, I'm tired of you saying full-time employee for a year. Girl, I'm full-time, man.
And I was like, okay. All right. I got off the phone with her and now I'm calculating, okay? So I'm like, okay, if I work 1 hour before work every day, it'll bring it down by this much. If I work another hour after my shift, it'll bring my balance down by this much. Okay, what if I just came in 2 hours or stayed over 2 hours after my shift every day? Okay, that's how much it's gonna cost. Okay, I don't work on Sundays. I can work on Sunday too, work like 2 hours on Sunday. That'll bring it down as well. Y'all, I didn't work on Sundays. I don't like working on Sundays. But I was like, God, listen, I love you and I respect you, but I gotta pay this down. So y'all, I'm putting in overtime. I ended up coming in an hour early or an hour and 30 early, working an hour after my shift. And I did this every day. Monday, I was off on Thursday, so I did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Y'all, your girl was tired. I was like, oh my goodness. And I hated every step, every moment of doing that. Here comes like 2 days before my last day here. And I called HR back. This time I got a different lady. And I said, hey, I'm just calling to see if there's anything else I need to do. And I want to know how y'all gonna take this money out. Are y'all gonna pull it out of my check, or y'all gonna give me the full check and I gotta come cash it, then bring something to you? I would just prefer y'all pull it out of my check. Y'all, this lady was like, I'm confused. I'm like, well, what you confused about? Because if you want to play like you confused, I'm gonna play like I'm confused too. And I'm gonna pay y'all nothing. Come on now. Like, what is it? Like, how y'all gonna take this money? And she was like, I don't understand why we would take money from you. And I explained to her what the other lady said, and she was like, oh no. Oh, she was like, okay. I am so sorry, but a lot of people forgetting that we omitted that from our handbook last year. That rule is no longer in effect. Man, y'all I'm talking about. I said, huh? What? It's no longer in effect. And she was like, yeah, that's no longer a thing. You actually get to keep your PTO. You don't have to pay that back. Y'all, I got off the phone. Well, I thanked the lady, got off the phone, and I started rejoicing. I didn't have like my couch or my TV stand or nothing like that in my living room, so I could run back and forth as much as I wanted and shout it as much as I wanted to. I was so happy. I was so elated because this entire time I thought I was gonna have to pay this money back. And I'm like, I need my money to move. Like, even if I didn't need this money, I don't want to pay y'all. I was just so excited because I get to keep all my PTO, okay? Didn't have to pay that back. And then on top of that, I've been working overtime. So I get to keep all of that. Do y'all know the most money that I made from them was with that last check? Man, when I say God was good that day. Like, I was just so excited. That was nothing but God, because he knew if they told me I didn't have to pay that PTO back, I wouldn't have put in no extra hours to make some extra money. It wasn't going to happen. I hated that job. So that was nothing but him. Nothing but him. Here comes my last day. I worked my shift, and I said I was gonna work an extra hour, but once she told me I didn't have to, I didn't have to pay that money back, I said, I'm not gonna work that extra hour. I packed up their equipment, drove it up to the job. Y'all, when I say I was so happy, I have never been so excited in my life to drop off some equipment. I pulled up, got out the car, grabbed equipment. I had a different walk, okay? I had a different pep in my step. I probably skipped to the door. I can't remember. I just know I was extremely happy. Took it in there, gave it to the security, and he was like, oh, okay, thank you so much. You want me to call your manager down? She can come down. And I said, There is nothing that I need to say to her. Y'all got y'all equipment. You got your laptop. You got your keyboard. You got your mouse. You got everything that you gave me. Me and her, we don't have nothing to talk about. Now, at this time, the manager that I couldn't stand, she wasn't our manager at that time because she left on maternity leave. Thank you, Lord. We had a new manager, and she was cool. I didn't have any issues with her. But still, I did not have anything to say to them. I no longer work here. Just make sure I get my last check, and we're going to be fine. Now I'm jobless, right? Never felt so good. Had my freedom back. Had my time back. And the only thing that I had to worry about was getting my apartment together so I could be gone. Okay? Now remember, God said I had to be out of Michigan in July, or at the latest August, I think August 7th. Well, the first week of August. Now, my lease was not up until January, so I had to break my lease. And if any of you have stayed in an apartment before, when you break your lease, you get two options. I can't remember the terms for both of those options, so I'm going to say option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is you can break your lease and go ahead and just pay 2 additional months and you'll be fine. Precious did not want to do that because I'm not about to sit up here and pay no extra months if I'm not staying there. It just don't make sense to me. It may make sense to the leasing office and their balance sheet, but not my account. It don't make sense. The second option was to break your lease, but you wouldn't have to pay if somebody moves in your apartment. So let's say if your lease is up it's up in September, right? And you break it in July. If somebody leases your apartment in August, you only have to pay for the month of July. And I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. However, the risky part on that is if nobody leases your apartment for like 6 months, you have to cover those 6 months. So I was taking a big risk, but I said I'm not about to pay no 2 extra months. I wasn't doing that. So I have a month now. I have a month to get everything up out the apartment, and I was okay with that. While I was getting the apartment together, still cleaning up, making sure there were no stains in the carpet, everything was fine. I was still applying to jobs. I was still looking at apartments. I had interviews. I wasn't getting those jobs. And I was okay with that. I was okay that I didn't get the jobs because I'm like, you know what, God? If I didn't get it, there's a reason I didn't get it, and you don't want me to have it. That's one of the reasons. It's not the job for me. You have something better. I never lost faith when it came to that. I was just like, you don't want me to have it, then I'm not going to have it, but I'm going to keep applying. Oh, let me go back. When it came to picking the 2 options, right, I had to call the leasing office, right? And I asked him, I said, okay, with the second option, will you guys call me and let me know that somebody leased my apartment? Now, instead of him being smart, he could have just said, oh, no, we're not going to call you. You'll have to call us and check to see if your apartment has been leased. But no, he wanted to get smart and do like a little, I don't know what you call it, but little grant, I don't know. But he was like, no, we're not going to call you. And I said, oh, that's what we're going to do. I said, okay, well, I'll be checking the website every other day, and I will be calling y'all once a week for a month. I sure am. So every other day, I would get on the apartment website, and I would go through each apartment number just to see if mine was listed, and it always was. And I would call them once a week, and they'll say, oh, no, nobody has leased it yet. And I'm like, well, can I switch over to the other option at any moment in time? Yes, you can. Still getting the apartment together, still applying to jobs, still having interviews, still checking the website. When I chose the second option, I told them I'll be leaving this apartment on July 21st. Okay? I had to be out on that specific date. And now we're like in the second week of July. Y'all, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous because I'm checking this website. I'm calling this leasing office, and nobody has leased my apartment yet. I'm getting nervous. Did not lose faith. I did not doubt. I just said, listen, God, my apartment's still on here. Nobody has leased my apartment, God. Hey, now, if they don't lease it, I'm going to have to pay multiple months. God, I don't have no job. You have not secured me with a job yet. What we gonna do? This is your plan now. Hey, listen, provide the provisions. You said you was gonna do it. Like, God, I can't see it. I can't see it. And so I'm like, all right, God, I don't hear you. I'm about to go to this office and switch over to the first option. God, I said I'm about to go to the office and switch over to the first option. Hold on. I'm up here laughing right now in this video, but at the time, nothing was comical about my situation. I was terrified out of my mind, and I was looking for an instant answer because I didn't know what was next. Y'all, I did not hear him. And so I told him, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the office, and I'm going to switch over to the first option. Y'all, I never stepped foot in that office. I never called them to ask them to switch me over to option 1. I never did. It had to be the Holy Spirit to say, no, you got all of this to do in one day. You're not going to make it to the office. I never stepped foot in there. I stayed with option 2. And the crazy thing is, we want God to work on our time. But that's just not how it goes. It don't go that way. He shows up at the right time. Not when we want him to, but the right time. So our right time is not his right time. It's just not. Now I got probably 1 week left. And now I'm really terrified. Again, I was terrified, but I did not doubt him. I was terrified, nervous, afraid, didn't know what was going to happen, but I did not doubt him. I'm just like, something gonna happen. I don't know what it is, something gonna happen. I'm gonna just focus on applying to jobs and getting this apartment together. I'm not focusing on nothing else. The job that I had an interview for probably like a week ago, they called me back. No, they sent an email and I didn't get the job. And so I was a little frustrated because I'm like, this is a basic job. Why is it that I didn't get it? I don't understand. And I was just annoyed. And it had to be nothing but the Holy Spirit that said, just get on the website and see if somebody leased your apartment. I didn't call them, hopped right on the website, and I'm going through the apartment numbers, and I didn't see my number. So I'm a triple checker, okay? I started going through every apartment number. I mean, like, I did it twice just to make sure I didn't jump over my number. Y'all did not see it. I called the leasing office and I said, hey, I don't see my apartment number listed online. Does that mean that somebody leased my apartment? And I got a sweet lady this time. I didn't get the other one. Anywho, but she was like, oh yes, they leased it and they signed their contract. They're supposed to be moving in on August 2nd. Y'all went right in my living room. I don't know what it was about my living room, but like my living room and my dining room is where I rejoice. Like that was just my running back in fourth place when it came to shouting and praising God. But I just started praising, worshiping. Like, oh my goodness, y'all. My heart was just completely filled and just like, I don't know. In that moment, I felt so loved by God. I don't even know how to explain it. I just felt so loved because you did it for me. You did it for me. Even though I said, God, I'm about to go over here and do, and I didn't do it, you came through. Not on my time, on your time. And right before I had to be out, I was just, y'all. I was just so happy. And whatever I was mad about, I didn't even care about that no more. The fact that somebody leased my apartment and I only had to pay for the full month of July, and that one day on August 1st, I was happy. It was better than paying 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I was happy with that. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta stop y'all right there. I just have to. We can't go no further. God was so good. He was so good to me, and I am blessed, thankful, and grateful for everything he did for me. But that job situation, that was not the only thing that he did for me. He blessed me so many times throughout this process, and y'all gonna hear about it in the next video in part 3 next Sunday. See y'all soon.